still didn't want to go play in the arena league. But like, dang, man, I balled out in college, D1. I see other people I know going to the league. Like, I think I should be in the league, right? So emotionally, I wasn't even trying to go to the arena league. But I went anyways, right? And then the more I played in the arena league, year after year after year, my emotions began to change. My emotions began to follow my decision to go. And all of a sudden, I started to love the arena league. And all of a sudden, I started to enjoy the arena league. What up, everybody, man? It's your boy, JK, man. And today is Thursday, so you already know what it is. It's Tackle Thursday with JK, live on IG, live on Facebook, and I'm recording for my YouTube channel, Jeremy Kellem. Go and subscribe after this episode. Don't do it right now. Wait till this episode over, and be sure to go and click like, share, subscribe, follow, do all of that and above, man, on my YouTube channel, man. And today, man, we tackling the topic, man, your emotions will catch up, man. Your emotions will catch up. Believe it or not, your emotions will catch up, man. And so when I'm talking about your emotions will catch up, you feel me? I'm implying that your emotions are not leading, right? So for someone or something to catch up, that means that something else has to be leading or something has to be ahead, right? But many times in life, and I realize it causes us frustration, is that we are led by our emotions. That much of what we do is a direct result of how we felt or how we were emotionally, right? And so when we walk through life and we go through life emotionally led, then guess what we do? We make emotionally irrational decisions because we're led by our emotions. And the thing about emotions, that emotions are fickle. I could be happy today and then sad tomorrow. I could be happy right now and sad in 10 minutes. Think about the national championship game. Georgia and Alabama. They going back and forth, back and forth. At one moment, when the quarterback fumbled the ball, which I thought it was incomplete, but they ruled it a fumble. Well, when the ball slipped out of his hand and Alabama covered it pretty much like at the 20-yard line, 25-yard line, you had Alabama fans going crazy. Yeah! Right? Emotions on 10. Let's go. You had Georgia in their face like this. Disappointed. Upset. But then all of a sudden, at a snap of a finger, next thing you know, Georgia take the lead. Run away with the game. And so at one minute, Georgia is sad. Their fans are sad. Then the next minute, their fans are excited. Why? Because emotions go up and down. Emotions are fickle. They're one way today and then another way tomorrow, right? And so that's why it's so important for us not to be led by emotions, right? And so when I say emotions will catch up, I'm saying that, hey, we can't be led by our emotions, right? That we got to act and then allow our emotions to follow in many cases. But so many times in life, like I said, we are led by emotions. One of my favorite movies is the movie called Safety on Disney, right? It's a football movie. It's about Ray McIntyre. Hopefully I said that right? But it's on Disney, right? Great movie. But at the end of the movie, when he was appealing to the NCAA, the dude that was over the NCAA at that time that he was pleading to was like, man, I'm touched by everything you said. I'm inspired by what you said and by the support that you have. And then he said this quote. He said that our emotions cannot dictate our decisions. Our emotions cannot dictate our actions. So we as human beings got to make sure that our emotions are not dictating our actions, our day-to-day actions, right? But so many times they are. Think about it. A lot of times we don't go work out. Why? I don't feel like it. So because I don't feel like working out, I don't go work out. Right? Even though I could be in the wrong in an argument, if I don't feel like apologizing, even though that's the right thing to do, I don't apologize. Because emotionally, I didn't feel like apologizing. Right? Man, my kids, they need to go brush their teeth. Man, I'm tired. I'm trying to go straight to sleep. Emotionally, I don't feel like brushing their teeth, so guess what? I may not brush their teeth. I'm emotionally led. Or your kids may need to go to tutoring on the weekends. And you didn't work 7 days a week. You tired. 6 days a week. You tired. You finally get a day off. And you don't feel like taking your kids to tutoring, so guess what? You don't do it. Why? Because many times we are led by our emotions. So whatever we feel at that time, that is what we do. Despite what may be right, despite what the right thing may be to do, despite our responsibility, despite the expectations someone or something or an organization or we have of ourselves, how we feel at the time can easily dictate what we do, right? And when we do that, that can cause us emotional pain, mental pain, psychological pain. Why? Because, and it can cause us disappointment in the future, because if we're so quick to make key decisions in our lives based off of simply how we feel at the moment, there's some relationships that you might have ruined too early. There's some friendships you might have severed and cut off. There were some opportunities you probably walked away from if you allowed your emotions to lead you, right? Because like they say, they tell athletes, especially like you're gonna see during the playoffs, some people are towards the end of their career, and if they don't make it to the Super Bowl, or if they don't win the Super Bowl, they're going to ask them at a press conference, what are your plans next year? And I've heard this saying all the time. They say, right, never make a decision when you're emotional. So if you contemplate on retiring from a sport after you lose a playoff game or after you lose a Super Bowl, that ain't the time where you need to make a decision on whether you're going to retire or come back. Why? Because your emotions are all over the place. You could be so excited after you win the Super Bowl. You're like, yeah, I'm coming back. Even though once you step away from the game and you realize, like, man, I think my career done. Once you settle down, or you might leave the game after an L and be like, man, I quit, I retire, it's over for me. And then you get in the off season and you calm down and you make the decision to come back. But that's why they say, hey, don't make a decision when you're emotional, right? So we got to understand that our emotions cannot or should not dictate our actions. And when we allow them to dictate our actions, many times we make errors in our decisions because we're like, man, I only made that decision because I was mad at them that day. Or man, I really wanted that opportunity, but because I was frustrated, or because I was sad, or because I was upset, or because emotionally I wasn't right, I turned it down. And so we got to be mature enough to know, we got to be able to compartmentalize our emotions. Like whenever we got a decision to make, we got to say, okay, these are my emotions. These are the facts of the situation. And we should make a decision based off of the facts of a situation opposed to how we feel about a situation, right? Because when we look at a situation, yeah, we could be honest and say, man, I really want this opportunity. I really want this job. Emotionally, I want this to happen. But then you got to separate the emotional side of things and sit down and say, okay, but is this what's best for me? Is this what's best for my family? Is this what's best for my business? Is this what's best for my career? Right? You got to step aside. You got to step away and make a decision. When I first went to, when I had to choose, decide if I was going to go to Arizona to play with the Rattlers and leave New Orleans, emotionally, my emotions was in New Orleans. because I had built a relationship with New Orleans, my teammates, my homeboys. I got the fan support. They the ones that wanted me. Nobody else didn't want me. So my loyalty was there, right? But then I had to sit down and I had to remove the emotion from it. And I had to listen to my agents at the time. It was like, look, man, if you want a chance to win a championship, think about Arizona. If you want a chance to try to go play in the NFL, think about going to Arizona. The Cardinals are right there. Think about going to Arizona, playing for the Rattlers. And so once I had to remove emotions from it and I had to deal with the facts, okay, yeah, Arizona seemed like the right idea, right? And so not only do we gotta, one, understand that our decisions should not be dictated by our emotions, and our actions should not be dictated by our emotions. We gotta understand that it's bigger than our emotions. Like, it's bigger than our emotions. Like, the assignment, the destiny, the purpose that God got in each of our lives is bigger than our emotions. Like, what God put you on earth to do is bigger than if you feel like it or not. It's bigger than if you're tired or not. It's bigger than if you want to or not. Right? Like, if we look at Jonah, right? When God told Jonah what to do in the Bible, Jonah, boom, hit it. God like, oh, you gonna run? Oh, okay, I got you. Right? It was bigger than what God wanted Jonah to do, was bigger than Jonah actually wanting to do it. It was bigger than that. But even bigger than that story in the Bible, we look at Jesus, right? Jesus' assignment when he was sent to earth was bigger than his emotions. It was bigger than him. And Jesus understood that. But Jesus was still human. And he still had feelings and he still had emotions. And so we all know Jesus died on the cross for me and your sins, right? And, right, raised from the dead, 3 days later, went to heaven, gave us eternal life, right? Now, Jesus did not go to the cross gladly. Like, he wasn't like, yeah, take me to the cross, let's go. I'm ready to go to the cross. No, that wasn't what Jesus did. Emotionally, Jesus wasn't trying to go to the cross. That ain't what he was trying to do. Like, the Bible tells you in Matthew chapter 26, Jesus asked 3 times, hey, God, Father, let this cup pass from me. Let this cup pass from me. Let this cup pass from me. So God is like, Jesus is like, yo, emotionally, I don't want to go down the cross. Just like emotionally, you might not want to go work at that job. Emotionally, you might not feel like being a good person that day. Emotionally, you might not feel like taking the high road one day. Right? And being a bigger person. But it's bigger than your emotions. It's bigger than how you feel. Right? And Jesus, even though emotionally he didn't want to go to the cross, he still was like, man, nevertheless, let your will be done. Like, in other words, I understand that me down on the cross is bigger than how I feel about going to the cross. And so we got to get to that mindset, right? Because when we get to that mindset, it offers some relief in our life. That when we step outside of ourselves, when we get frustrated and we're emotionally frustrated and we got to make a decision and we got all these different emotions. I'm happy about something, I'm sad about something, I'm frustrated, I'm mad. And we got to make this decision with all these emotions. Having the mindset that it's bigger than me. It's bigger than how I feel right now. That can offer some relief in process, en route to making a decision. Because as a husband, right, I got to understand that my assignment to love my wife is bigger than if I get mad at her. All right? Like, you mad, Jeremy, but you still got to be a good husband. You gotta strive to still be a good husband. Yeah, you mad. Okay, cool. You'll be all right, Jeremy, because it's bigger than your emotions. Like, just because you're mad, you still got to protect your family, Jeremy. Just because you're mad, you might be mad that day, Jeremy, but it's bigger than your emotions. You still got to go out there and provide. You still got a wife and 2 kids to provide for, because it's bigger than my emotions. You get what I'm saying? Like, Just because something may be going on at the job or going on in my career, things may not be going my way, I'm upset about how life is going. My responsibility as a husband and a father is bigger than those emotions. My responsibility as a husband and father is more important than how I feel about how my life may be going. Right? But so many times we get caught up on our emotions and we make decisions based off our emotions that then lead us to places that cause us even more emotional pain or even more emotional stress. Why? Because we let our emotions dictate our actions. When we got to get to a point and realize that, hey, many things in life, my purpose in life is bigger than my emotions. Jesus' purpose in this world was bigger than how he felt about going to the cross. It was bigger than his emotions, right? So we got to get that mindset and understand that. And so even when we may be in an emotionally frustrated state, we got to step outside and say, man, you know what? I still got to be a good husband. I still got to be a good wife. Still got to be a good, parent. I still got to be responsible. I still got to show up to work. I still got to give my all. I still got to, put the time in with my business, even though I'm frustrated, even though I'm upset, even though, I might be disappointed. All right. And then we got to also understand, like what I said, the title that we're tackling today is that emotions will follow you, right? Your emotions will follow you. We first got to act, though. We have to act. And when we act, then typically our emotions will follow suit. It will follow the actions, even if the actions was contrary to the emotions that we felt. For instance, right? So we look at Joseph in the Bible, like Joseph that married Jesus' mother, right? You look at Joseph in the Bible. Now, Joseph was about to marry Mary, right? And Joseph found out, hold on, Mary three months pregnant by who? Like, who she married by? That's how my boy Joseph looking around like, hold on, wait a minute, who she married by? I mean, who she pregnant by? Like, who is Mary pregnant by? Joseph like, no, it ain't me. So, like any man, my boy Joseph is in his emotions. He in his feelings. My boy like, hey, Mary, I got mad respect for you, but I'm going to have to go ahead and hit it. I'm going to have to divorce you. But I'm going to do it silently, so I'm going to say you embarrassment, but I'm out. Right? Because emotionally, that's what Joseph was. That's where he was emotionally. That's his feelings. He was like, yo, man, I'm hot right now. I got to go. I'm leaving. Right? But angel of the Lord come holler at my boy Joseph and was like, hey, your wife, she's pregnant not by another man, she's pregnant by God. You feel me? So even though Joseph emotionally was so upset, Joseph had to understand that Mary being pregnant with baby Jesus was bigger than his own feelings. And he had to sit back like, dang, I'm mad right now that my wife to be is pregnant, but she ain't pregnant by me or no other man, but she about to be pregnant with baby Jesus, the savior of the world. All right, that's bigger than my emotions. That's bigger than how I feel. Right? And so as a result, guess what? My boy Joseph did not let his emotions dictate his actions. Instead, despite how Joseph was feeling, he stayed with Mary and he married her. And then as a result, it said that he didn't consummate the marriage until she had Jesus, right? So even though Joseph wanted to leave Mary because emotionally he was mad, he was frustrated, he was disappointed, he was hurt, he didn't allow his emotions to dictate his actions, so he stayed. And his actions to stay was contrary to what his emotions was telling him to do. But because his actions said stay, and he stayed, eventually his emotions aligned up and he was able to live and be happily married to Mary. Why? Because he acted first and then his emotions followed, right? Same thing in my life. When it comes to playing professional football, I did not want to go to the Arena Football League. I remember telling my wife, I remember telling my parents, I told everybody. I'm like, hey, the last thing I want to do is go play in the Arena League. That's where I was emotionally. I said, the last thing I want to do is go to the AFL. I'm good. I'll go play in any outdoor league. I'm not going to the AFL. That's what I said, right? But I didn't get drafted. Then lockout came, didn't get signed. Lockout opened, didn't get signed. Got to work out with the UFL, made it all the way to mini camp. Made it through mini camp, had a good mini camp. Made it through fall camp. And then all of a sudden got cut. Now I'm out of football. Right? Still emotionally, I'm like, man, I ain't going to the Arena League. And then all of a sudden, the opportunity to play in the Arena League came knocking out the door. Bah, 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 bah. Hey, Jeremy, this is New Orleans Voodoo. We want to know if you will come and come to our training camp, man. We got. Now, emotionally, I did not want to go to the Arena League. Emotionally, I'm like, ain't no way I'm playing in the Arena League. I'm better than that. Right? But when it came to making the decision to go to the Arena League or not, I had to remove my emotions. I had to sit my emotions on the side. My emotions that I never want to play in the Arena League. This ain't what I want to do. I had to put that on the side. And I had to look at this opportunity to go play professional football for what it is and for what it was. And because I was able to move my emotions and put them on the side, because I still didn't want to go play in the Arena League. I still thought I was better than the Arena League, right? Not in an arrogant way, but like, hey, man, I balled out in college, D1. I see other people I know going to the league. Like, I think I should be in the league, right? So emotionally, I wasn't even trying to go to the Arena League. But I went anyways, right? And so when I say that if we choose to act first, our emotions, so when I say we choose to act first and then our emotions will follow, right? When I went to the Arena League to New Orleans, I did not want to be there. I did not want to be there at all. I was upset. I was hot. I remember walking into the facility. I was like, I seen the turf. The turf was like molded and had all these stains. I'm like, man, I got basketball shoes on. What this come to, right? And then the more I played in the Arena League, year after year after year, my emotions began to change. My emotions began to follow my decision to go. And all of a sudden, I started to love the Arena League. And all of a sudden, I started to enjoy the Arena League. Why? Right? Because first, emotionally, I didn't even want to be there. But just because I didn't want to be there didn't mean that the right decision wasn't to go to the Arena League. And so that's what I think a lot of times we do, that we think that because I don't feel like this is the right thing to do, it ain't the right thing to do. That's what we think a lot of times. And that's not the case a lot of times. A lot of times, just because you don't want to do something don't mean that you shouldn't do it. Just because you know what I'm saying, you feel a way or it's uncomfortable, don't mean you shouldn't do it. And then sometimes, a lot of times, we know we should do the opposite thing and we still do the wrong thing, right? So we still be emotionally misled. And so what I'm simply saying is that when we allow our emotions to dictate our actions, we end up more times than not disappointed, because the decision you made normally was a haste decision or is a haste decision. Haste decisions normally mean you didn't take into consideration all the circumstances or all the nuances or all the loopholes. And if you don't take into consideration every possible circumstance, then you can make an ill-advised decision that can cost you more down the road and even hurt you even more emotionally. But when we come to the point and we understand, get the mindset that, hey, it's bigger than my emotions. Like, hey, I'm gonna be honest. Going back to school after getting 3 weeks off, that was hard. I did not want to go back to work. I did not feel like going back to work. Emotionally, I did not feel like going back to work. But I went back to work. And after making the action and making the decision to go back to work, once I got back to work and I started seeing the kids and I started teaching, guess what began to follow? My emotions began to catch up. And then I began to say, oh man, I got my groove back. I'm back teaching now. Now, don't get me wrong. It's still high anxiety. We teaching in a pandemic. I didn't want to feel like, I'm like, oh man, do we need to go virtual? The whole nine. I'm nervous. Going back to school. My emotions like, man, I don't feel like it. I don't want to. I want to go virtual. But the decision to go, to act, then allow my emotions to follow suit. And as a result, now I'm back teaching. I'm like, okay, then I'm finding my groove again. Right? And so we all have to make decisions in life. And the question is, are you going to let your emotions dictate your actions? Are you going to allow your emotions to dictate your decisions? Right? Sometimes you got to leave a certain place. Sometimes you got to leave a certain person. Sometimes you might have to leave a certain job. And it's hard for you to leave that person, that job, or that opportunity because of your emotions. Your emotions is tied to that job. Your emotions is tied to that person. So you're like, man, how can I leave this person? They did X, Y, Z for me. How can I leave this person? We've been together for all these years. And you got all this emotional attachment. But if you put your emotions aside and you look and you say, okay, let me put my emotions aside. I know I've been working here for a long time, but let me look at the facts. The facts is this new job opportunity is closer to my house. The facts is this new job opportunity pays more money. The facts is this new job opportunities offer better health benefits. And so are you going to make a emotional decision and choose to stay where you are because you're emotionally tied there? Or are you going to be able to separate your emotions from the facts and say, okay, though I do want to stay where I want to stay, and emotionally I'm connected there, I need to make a decision on what's right to do and not a decision that's emotionally led. All right. What up, Ronald boy? What's up with you, bro? Hope all is well, dog. But yeah. So, man, like I say, man, we tackling the top of the day, right? Your emotions will catch up. Meaning that, hey, instead of being emotionally led, how about we see things for what they are? We see the facts and we allow our emotions to catch up. Meaning that I don't allow my emotions to dictate my decisions or my actions, but that I use I go deeper than how I feel. That I check, I look at the nuances, I examine every opportunity, every situation, and I make the best decision, not off my emotions, but off of the facts, off of what is actually there. And then even like God may be calling you to do something that may seem uncomfortable and you don't feel like doing it. Even you might be frustrated and upset and don't want to do the right thing. But can we be mature enough and can we be strong enough to say, even though I don't want to apologize, I need to apologize. And I'm talking to myself. You feel me? I'm growing, I'm working, right? Or even though I don't want to go to work today, can I still get up and push through that and go to work with a smile on my face and watch how your emotions follow and catch up with your actions? All right? So definitely, man, we see things for what they are, man, and not through our emotions, right? And so, man, definitely. So just understand that it's so important for us to not let emotions dictate our actions, not let emotions dictate our decisions. And it's very hard to do because we're emotional people. We got emotions that go up and down all day long, right? You know what I'm saying? Like if you know that, hey, an opportunity come and it sounds very lucrative, and you're like, well, hey, I need some money right now too. Ooh, that opportunity look good. Emotionally, you like, hey, I gotta go. They about to give me this amount of money. But hey, take a step back. Put the emotions on the side. You know you want the money, but is that the best opportunity for you? Is that what you should? Is that what's best for you right now? Just because they about to offer you more money, can we put our emotions aside like that and still make the best decision? And maybe the best decision is to go with the money, right? But at least do your due diligence to give yourself time to examine, is this opportunity right? Should I do it? All right. So, man. Definitely want to open it up for any questions, comments. See Ronald on here, man, with the dropping the 100 emoji, and he said we see things for what they are. We definitely do. Man, anybody on IG, man, y'all can drop a question. You can drop a comment. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you feel the need to drop. Any questions, comments about what we tackling today, or you know what's going on in the world, what's going on in the sports world. We got football playoffs coming up, NBA season. You know what I'm saying? They in the mix. You know what I'm saying? Going hard right now. You know, transfer report, whatever it is, man. If y'all got any questions, comments, I'm gonna give about a minute for y'all to be able to drop that in the chat, and I address it. And you know, and then if not, man, I ain't gonna hold y'all up. You know, I'll let y'all go ahead and have a blessed day. I appreciate y'all for hopping on, man. And I never take the presence of anybody that clicks on here just to listen to me. I never take it for granted, man. So I definitely appreciate it. And yeah, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. You know, so as everybody, you know what I'm saying, seeing if anybody gonna comment or ask questions, man. Definitely looking forward to the weekend with the playoffs, man. Football playoffs on. Man, I'm rocking with the Titans. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm in. You see the helmet back there, you feel me? Rocking with the Titans. You know, living in Tennessee. You know, really Nashville. So definitely rocking with the team. You know what I'm saying? The home team right now. Hey. My wife just put 3-day weekend in the chat, man. She's hilarious. So like my wife, which makes me feel good, man. She gets excited when I don't have to go to work and I can stay home and help her with the kids, and she get, you know what I'm saying, that time to be able to work on her businesses and endeavors, man. And so definitely looking forward to the 3-day weekend with you too, wifey and the kids. And so you said without being emotionally tied to the outcome. I know it's possible, but not easy. Definitely, bro. Like, I think, you know, I know that, you know, as humans, man, sometimes we do get tied to the outcome, right? And at least I know I get disappointed by the outcome a lot of times. But you know, just like you said, bruh, you know, we can't get tied to the outcome. And so like even like right now, like with podcasting and doing videos and putting content out, like who doesn't want 1 million people to watch their stuff, 1 million people to tune in, thousands, hundreds of people to tune in? Who don't watch that? I mean, who don't want that, right? I want that. But at the same time, I know that what I'm doing right now, it ain't even for the likes. It's not for the shares. I believe that those will come in due time, like the views, the shares, the likes, all of that will increase in due time. But I do this because, you know what I'm saying, I'm not tied to the results. I do this because, hey, this is what I feel like God told me to do. Like, this part of my purpose. This is what I've been called to do, right? And so, and I know you feel the same way, you know what I'm saying, grinding, going to, you know what I'm saying, posting so much content, your podcast, doing all these videos, all of that, man. And so, like I said, emotionally, it's like, man, what? You know, sometimes you can be like, man, dang, but I thought this video was going to hit. I thought I said something in this. And so emotionally, you get a little disappointed, but then you understand, man, it's bigger than me. It's bigger than somebody like somebody might be more impacted by what I say and never like my video, never share it, never even subscribe, and they might watch my content every week, and I never know, and they be the most impacted by it. So it ain't really about the results, right? Don't get me wrong, we all want it, because we know, you know, with views, with shares, with likes, with all of that comes, you know what I'm saying, finances, monetary gains, right? And so who don't want to make more money to be able to bless their family even more, take care of their family, and be a blessing to more people. So but like you say, man, it it ain't about the results. You know what I'm kind of saying? I remember catching the ball after practice, every single, you know what I'm saying, every single day, catching the ball after practice. Like from my sophomore year in college to all the way through, I played in the arena league. I remember standing after practice, catching the ball, bah, 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 right? And then I remember going out there, I caught 3 picks my freshman year. I ain't say after practice my freshman year, but sophomore year, caught 2 picks. Junior year, caught 3 picks. Sophomore year, caught 2 picks. Now, if me going to catch balls after practice, even in the summer, even in the spring, was tied to results, I would have stopped. Cause you talking about I'm catching balls after practice, and I appreciate that, bro. Appreciate you getting on and being interactive, but I appreciate that, bro. Like, so if me catching balls after practice was tied to results, I would have been stopped. Cause if I'm catching balls after practice in the summer and in the spring, and I'm only catching 2 interceptions, I'm like, oh, bro, what's going on? Like, I ain't getting the results. But I knew that, you know what I'm saying, it ain't really about the result. I mean, it ain't, me doing this is about putting me in position to be prepared for when the opportunity comes. So, though I didn't catch a lot of, you know, it was 2 interceptions, 3 interceptions, I wasn't dropping none either, though, right? I didn't drop too many. So, it was like, okay, I can see the work paying out, because when I do get an opportunity, when they do hit my hand, I'm catching them. But, man, 2 and 3, that's not a lot. I'm standing up to practice catching all these balls. God, like, I'm supposed to be catching more. And then once I started playing in pros, I went from 9 interceptions to 8 to 8. Then all of a sudden, 15. And I'm like, oh, snap. Like, what I've been doing for all these years, it really just paid off. It was already paying off, but it really hit big. And so it's the same thing with doing what we're doing now. Like, man, I've been doing videos for years. You get what I'm kind of saying? Been short videos. Now we're doing long videos. We're doing podcasts. And so if one of my videos, which I believe it will, I trust God, several of them, but they go viral, or speaking of gay bitch go viral, or people start picking it up and posting it, I'm going to be like, dang, all them times that I was getting on and somebody else didn't get on. It wasn't nobody watching. Wasn't nobody listening. I was talking to myself, or whatever the case. All it paid off. So the results will come, but it's about being disciplined enough to keep coming and getting on. You know what I'm saying? It's like somebody working on their game. Like I was listening to Seth Carey on the All the Smoke podcast. He was just saying, like, playing in the G League, but it was the D League. He was just like, I was just working on my game. He was like, I knew I could play in the league. I just needed an opportunity. So all the shots we see Seth Carey knocking down now, he was knocking them down in the G League. He just got the opportunity. And so, hey, Dave was practicing with the slings since he was a jit. You got that right. But boy, had the sling practicing when he was a jit. Killed the lion and a bear as a jit. So, eventually got the opportunity to go against Goliath. You know what I'm saying? So, that's how I look at it, bro. Like, we all want more results. Like, who are we fooling? Like, yeah, we do. But that ain't why we do it. That's not why we get on. That's not why we come on and do what we do every week or post what we post. It's because, like, hey, we feel purpose to do it. We feel like this is what God put in me to do. And eventually, you know what I'm saying? In due time, I believe, you know what I'm saying? It'll catch on. And from the support I already got, it didn't caught on with people, right? I mean, obviously, like I say, we want more, but in due time, in God's time, it'll all be there though, bro. But definitely though, appreciate you, dog. And wifey say she over there getting game by my 1 and 4-year-old, man. Hey, shout out to my daughter, man. She about to be 2 years old, and man, I just see her turning into this young woman, man, and I ain't think I'm ready. I don't think I'm ready, man. I really don't think I'm ready, you know. So she about to be 2, and I feel like she about to be 20, and so I don't think I'm ready to just see her blossom into this young woman. And you know, I know she ain't dating until she's 30, so I ain't even worried about that. You feel me? But yeah, and then my son, man, is so amazing, man. So hey, be tuned, stay tuned for my kids' YouTube too, man. They hilarious, man. So we gonna definitely be dropping some content with them. Wifey gonna be spearheading that thing. So but yeah, so I ain't gonna hold y'all up though, man. I appreciate y'all for getting on, man. Hey, Ronald, dog, I appreciate you, bro, for getting on, dog. Your questions, your comments, your encouragement, the whole nine, bro. Yeah. So, man, just make sure, man, that, hey, allow your emotions to catch up. They will catch up, I promise you, right? Don't let your emotions dictate your decisions. Don't let your emotions dictate your actions. Eventually they will follow, right? Act, and your emotions will follow suit. All right, so wake up, continue to strive to win on purpose, be intentional about winning, and y'all have a blessed day. Holla at your boy, man.